Hello and welcome. You're with Times Now. I am Ankit Tyagi. Let's start with the top focus at this moment. In fact, over a month after it began hearing the hijab issue, Karnataka High Court has pronounced its verdict in the matter. The court has ruled that hijab is not an essential religious practice in Islam, and that the prescribing a uniform cannot be objected to. Meanwhile, the court has also confirmed what Times Now had been saying all along, that unseen hand is at work behind the unrest over hijab. The court observed the issue sprung up all of a sudden and had ordered a speedy investigation into the matter as well. The Basavaraj Bommai government has urged students to abide by the High Court's judgment. Despite that, the hijab, the petitioners in this entire case remain defiant, even the PFI. Now, the court has very clearly said that neither hijab nor saffron shawls or saffron headgear would be allowed as far as the uniform is concerned. Though there is going to be a challenge to this High Court judgment in the Supreme Court, but till then, the courts have put hijab over Kitab.
ನೋಡಿ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲಿಂದನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಇದು ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿತ್ತ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹಿಜಾಬ್. ಆ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಮ್ಮ ಶಕ್ತಿ ತೋರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಶಕ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲವು ಮತಾಂಧ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಇದ್ರ ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ಆಟ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
ನೀವು ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ನಾನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನೇನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಮಯ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಕೆಲವು ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಳು, ಮತಾಂಧ ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಳು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ. ಕೆಲವು ಉಡುಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸು, ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ದಾಖಲಾತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ, ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿಗಳು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
Really, I welcome the move by the High Court, because stating that religious practice is not a place in educational institution, so that there should not be any differentiation between any students. Each and everyone are same. As a student, they should participate in the class. They should respect the rules and regulations formed by the management. So that the good move by the High Court. Also, I welcome the move. Actually, they only filed application in High Court seeking justice. So that they should, while filing the application in High Court, they should think we should follow the rules and regulation. We should respect the court order. See, actually, it was a conspiracy created by some other antisocial activities like PFI, CFI. Actually, they provoked through these 6 students and to destroy the education policy from this girls' college.
The Karnataka High Court's verdict on the petition of the Muslim girls to wear hijab, saying that the hijab is not an integral part or the essential part of the religion, and rejecting their dismissing their petition, is indeed very disappointing and shocking. This judgment is against the spirit of constitutional values and against the spirit of individual rights. The court has completely rejected the emotions and the sensitiveness of the Muslim women towards this issue. There is also a very dangerous trend in which the court is trying to interpret religion against the established beliefs of the believers.
We are not happy about this decision because this is our constitutional right and it is our religious right also. We are opposing they are opposing like we have to remove our scarf. This is our self-respect. How we have to remove our scarf because this is our self-respect. It's like our soul. If they are taking our scarf from our head, they are taking our soul from us. So we are not happy about this decision. We will appeal to the Supreme Court for the next.
Joining me at this moment, Tuhin Sinha of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He is joining us at this moment. We also have Shalini Ali, Women Wing Muslim Rashtriya Manch, from the Muslim Rashtriya Manch. In fact, Ashwini Dubey, he's an advocate. He's also joining us at this moment. Syed Aslam, JDS spokesperson, is also with us. Saira Shah Halim, activist, is also with us. Welcome. I want to start with you, Saira. How do you see this? Because the fact is, when the High Court in Karnataka has now ruled that it is not an essential part of the practice as far as Islam is concerned, students, should they give up the protest, go back to their classes? Because there are still organizations like PFI which are continuously still opposing the High Court judgment?
Why are we only talking about the PFI? If you look at, this whole protest of the saffron knights who came wearing completely matched saffron shawls and try to heckle this girl in the premises of the varsity is appalling enough. And what are we talking about? Hijab can be an extended part or part of a uniform. I've studied all my life in Christian schools with very strong Christian ethos. And I am a Muslim girl who doesn't wear the hijab. Nobody in my family wears hijab. However, here I am standing for women's agency, whether it's a woman in Afghanistan who chooses not to wear the hijab, or whether it's a woman in India who decides that, no, this is my primary and fundamental right to wear the hijab.
Right, but Saira, the other part of the argument is that nobody is stopping them to wear the hijab whenever they want to. It is only in a classroom that uniformity, and the court has decided that people don't have to wear either a saffron shawl or a headgear or a hijab. So it's not an attack on where and how they want to practice their religion and what they want to wear. It is just inside a confined space of a classroom.
No, I agree with that. So tell me, how do you explain the complete harassment that teachers faced right outside the varsity when they were asked to disrobe themselves, take off the hijab and put it in the bags? If the argument is about uniformity,
yes,
I can understand that, okay, you can remove your hijab and come into the classroom.
Yes.
But why this discrimination against the educators, against the teachers? Why were they asked to take off their hijab?
Tuhin Sinha, despite what the High Court has said, there are many those who are looking at this and are going to challenge in the Supreme Court. There are the petitioners, the girls, those who say that it is our fundamental right. If this is how we want to express our religious beliefs, it has not so far been a problem. Why suddenly all this has been raised?
Two things over here. Number one, today's judgment very clearly bludgeons, rather it completely decimates the false equivalence which some people were trying to draw with the Sikh turban. Sikhism is the only religion which mandates a distinctive physical identity, and not hijab and Islam are not intrinsic to each other. This is very clear by the judgment. Secondly, every institution has reasonable right to form its rules and regulations to maintain uniformity.
Yes.
I'll give you the example of a TV channel. Tomorrow, if one of your news presenters says that, I'm only going to do a show, a bulletin in hijab, and it is a part of my religion, will the channel not have have the authority to take a call whether they would entertain that or not? There are 1,000 other places where you can practice, you can flaunt, or you can do whatever you want. But in certain places, there has to be a decorum, and that decorum needs to be maintained.
Tuhin, as far as the media channel is concerned, it's not a part of our policy as far, to proscribe a uniform for our anchors. But I get the point that you are trying to make here. Syed Aslam, I just want to understand from you. The government says, the Karnataka government has very clearly said that they also see some kind of a conspiracy behind this. They are going to go to the root of the conspiracy. PFI is once again being questioned. Where does the political class stands on this? I mean, the High Court has made it very clear there needs to be investigation on who are the instigators. Sir, I think you are on mute, sir. If you can unmute yourself, people would be able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Right, so what yes, we all have huge respect to the judicial system, but having said that, today's verdict, we are absolutely disappointed, but it is against the ethos of our nation. It is against the freedom of religion. It is against the personal choice. It is against the liberty, and the women are not allowed to wear what they want. It is completely against the ethos of our nation. But having said that, I just want to tell you one thing very
tell me one thing. Where is it that the High Court is stopping, anybody to practice their religion? It is just confined to a uniform. They are saying that in a classroom you can't wear it. The rules of the institution will have to be followed.
Ankit, let me make it very, very clear. From decades, the girls have been wearing hijab. We never had a problem. Only after the BJP government has come into power, they're using this as a tool of majoritarian polarization. And also, let me tell you, this is a new avenue for discrimination.
Okay.
We have seen what has happened in the last 1 month We have seen how girls were forced to remove the hijab on the road. Earlier, the interim order said that they should not get into the classes wearing hijab. We have seen how the girls were asked to remove the hijab outside the campus.
I agree, but Shalini Ali, then there are still those girls, those who are saying that they don't care. Even if we are not allowed to sit in our exams, we don't care, we won't take our hijab. A lot of people are making the argument that this is also, by inception. It's not that the girl had a choice. If the family has already made this kind of an inception that she would possibly have to wear hijab. Not everybody possibly comes from a family like Shara Halim, where there is a choice given to you. So isn't this, how do you see this? Isn't this a progressive step which should be, let girls decide once they are out of the educational institutions whether they want to practice hijab or not?
Ankit, I totally agree with you, whereas there are a lot of people, especially in our community, there is a major problem where girls at a young age, they are barely 2 or 3, you will see them in their mother's arms and they are wearing hijabs. Do they understand the meaning of a hijab at that time? Number one. Number two, when we are thinking of putting our children into an institution, into a school, we always look into the security also of the school. We are putting our children in school for uniformity. We are putting our children into school to learn, to get educated.
Okay.
Like I have previously also said that ICRA is what should be the main objective. Education is what we should be fighting about.
Yes.
We have ADP Mumtaz in Karnataka, in Udupi, who is the first Muslim Karnataka woman who is a district magistrate.
Okay.
Why has she been not brought out about? Why are we only talking about hijab and why are we only talking about Muskan?
Okay.
Why are we not speaking about Muslim girls who have taken
Sir, I'm coming to you. Ashwani Dubey has not spoken so far. Mr. Dubey, what will be the grounds? What grounds can now the petitioners take when they try and challenge this order? It's a very clear-cut order which has been given by the Karnataka High Court.
Yes, see, the only issue they will challenge that the state mandated law has not been framed in accordance with the they are not well in accordance with the law. That is arbitrary. So far as the legal principle are concerned, so far as the constitutional provisions are concerned, and the essential religious test in the Supreme Court's various judgments are concerned from the date from 1950 till now, it is clear that essential religious practices, the test which is to be done, that has been already decided.
Okay.
The Constitution of India, under the subheading Right to Religious Freedoms of Part 3, in fundamental rights grants religious freedoms, guarantee the scared rights to religious organizations to run their educational institution. And in such religious educational institution, they are empowered to run these religious educational institutions as per the tenets of their religion. But management of madrasas can prescribe any religious dress code for the students, including hijab and niqab. Probably 3 points. Very important point has been discussed by Honorable High Court on its wisdom. The High Court says that the pre-university colleges at Udupi and the material placed on record, we noticed that all was well with the dress code since 2004.
Yes.
Categorical statement. Now, 2, we are dismayed as to how all of a sudden...
I'm completely out of time. I'm completely out of time. Just in the end, Sarah, 10 seconds. Our children, both those who are wearing the saffron shawls and those who have been who are wearing hijab and now are saying that we don't care about our exams, but we'll still continue to wear hijab, are they being used in the larger, political games that are being played in Karnataka?
Discrimination, apartheid against the minorities. Why doesn't the government take the initiative of telling everyone that it will be a ghungat shorn country because ghungat is regressive? As you say, hijab is regressive. So let's do away with the hijab. Let's do away with the ghungat. Let's bring in a uniformity, no?
No, but Sarah, the problem with that argument is that as far as uniform is concerned, I hardly see anybody coming to schools and colleges in a ghungat. I mean, that's where possibly there is some difference as far as both these comparisons are concerned. But at this moment, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on this big issue. This has been one of the top stories that Times Now has been tracking right from the time this controversy started in Karnataka. Quick break. News and updates continue on the other side as well.